Sellers has Jordan. Jordan with 2 seconds to go, puts it up and scores at the buzzer. Michael Jordan has.
Hey guys, this is Dominique Wilkins.
Hey, this is Sean Kemp.
This is Gary Payton.
Hey, this is Pau Gasol.
NBA fans, what's up? This is Vince Carter here.
Hey, what's up? This is Matt Barnes. If you're an old school NBA fan like I am, make sure you check out the Basketball Time Machine with my man Sean David.
Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Basketball Time Machine. My name's Sean David. Thanks for tuning in. Let's talk some old school NBA basketball. Now, as you know, I cover Michael Jordan every once in a while, probably at least once a month. And yeah, obviously, it's about time. In today's episode, I want to take a look at NBA legends talking about Jordan and saying why he was not only built different, why he was a little bit crazy, and why he was far above everybody else. And I'm pretty happy that I found a couple of new clips that you hopefully haven't seen before. But before we start with that, let me ask you guys for a small favor. Please subscribe to the channel and like the video if you enjoy the content. All right, you guys, let's go for it. Now, the first clip that I want to show you guys is from Vin Baker. Vinny Baker, who used to play for the Seattle Supersonics and the Boston Celtics and the Milwaukee Bucks, who had a pretty interesting NBA ride. I can really recommend his book. But he says something about Michael Jordan that explains perfectly why Jordan was Jordan and other players were simply other players. Let's take a look.
To have Michael stamp you was different.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one thing to be an all-star and walk through the arenas, but now people are like, yo, I need to get some of those.
Yeah.
So it was cool, man. I mean, like anybody else growing up, everybody's a Michael Jordan fan and a friendship with him. And I remember when I got traded to Seattle, we played the Bulls. And, I wanted to be in this commercial. So the Sonics were really good, man. Like, we were #1 in the West at the time.
Yeah.
And I begged my organization to fly to Chicago, which is like a 4-hour trip from Seattle. And they said yes. And I got to the photo shoot, and I have Falk as an agent as well.
Yeah, Dave Falk.
So I got to the photo shoot all giddy that I'm gonna make this little slight cameo in the Brand Jordan commercial. First thing MJ says to me because we were playing the Utah Jazz the following night, and he knew that. And he said to me, "What the hell are you doing here?" Like, true story. And I was like, "I'm coming for the commercial." That was like one of my first lessons. Like, nah, bro.
Right.
You in a place now where you winning. This is secondary. So, I learned so many lessons from him being in that brand, man. Not just being stamped for the brand, but just learning about him and his competitive nature.
This when I knew Michael Jordan was crazy. Michael's the most competitive person I've ever been around in my life. So me, him, Chuck Daly, and David Robinson go play golf one morning. We're playing Puerto Rico that afternoon. Chuck says, "Hey, guys, we played 18. Michael said, "I'm gonna play another 18. Chuck said, "We got a game tonight." He says, "I'll be good." This is how crazy Michael is. We get to the game. Charles, you got this guy. Scotty, you got this guy. Michael, you got this guy. Michael said, "No, I got the point guard." He says, "What?" He says, "I got the point guard." He says, "You don't want to guard the two guard?" Michael's kind of leaning down. Michael looked and said, "I said I got the point guard." He said some shit about me in the newspaper, and I'm gonna get him. And we're looking around like, uh-oh, this little kid in trouble. He played 36 holes of golf, and he's guarding this dude like it's game 7. And he's talking, "Don't you ever say my damn name again." I'm looking at Karl Malone, I'm like, yo, man, there's something wrong with this dude.
And the next clip that I want to take a look at is from Antoine Walker. Now, as you probably know, Antoine Walker used to play for the Boston Celtics back in the days. Also had a bumpy NBA ride. For a brief time was even an all-star, but hey, long story. And I'm happy that I found a clip of him because I didn't feature him in any videos so far. So hey, Antoine, this is your clip.
There's a couple of things. The first thing that stands out to me is that how Michael was able to use trash talking, one, to motivate himself, but also to motivate his teammates, especially in that last year. Any little thing that he can get an edge to motivate him, he took advantage of it, and he did it through trash talking.
There's a story circulating about a pickup game in which you elbowed Jordan in the ribs. What happened?
Real easy. What happened? Well, all right. So when it happened, I didn't leak that story. A gentleman by the name of Sam Smith,
Right.
the Chicago Tribune.
He wrote the Jordan rules.
He wrote the Jordan rules.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, he did write the Jordan rules.
So Sam leaked the story, and then when the story leaked, the story was, Ron Artest punched Jordan in the ribs.
Right.
When I read that early in my career in Chicago, I was sick. I'm like, this is who would write that? So I couldn't really leave the house. But anyway, what happened was we was in a game, and MJ would ask me to come back because I was 19 years old, but really competitive.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of pros was in there.
Right.
And he was like, guard me. And so I was still really strong. And at that time, MJ was killing. And he broke his rib. When I broke his ribs, he sat out 3 months, came back averaging 25. And I was telling people, if it wasn't for those 3 months off, he would average 35. He was killing them.
Right.
And you talking about all-stars was in the gym.
Because that was the year after he retired, correct?
That was 1 year after he retired.
Right.
And he was cooking. So when I was guarding MJ, I was just like, I can't let him get the ball. And even in my career, I deny everybody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so with MJ, he's so strong, he holds you.
Right.
So I'm like, I can't let him get the ball, so I'm get your arm out the fucking way. And my elbow hit him in the ribs.
Right.
And then he went like this, but I didn't know I like hit him right in the
You caught it
rib.
flush.
Yeah, I caught him, and then he came back down. He was like this, and he got the ball, free throw line, game over, MJ, right?
Right.
And went off like this, and I'm like, damn, MJ is nice. And then the next day, I found out he broke his ribs.
I hate it, I dislike it. I was just at Michael Jordan's 60th birthday party. He pulled me to the side. And we talked about that for 30 straight minutes.
Because back in the day, you guys
played every game.
There was no rest.
We wanted to play every single game. We couldn't wait to get out there on the court. And it's about your ego, your passion, your love for the game. It's about those fans who, like you said, paid their hard-earned money to watch you play this game of basketball.
Who were some of the guys that you saw and you watched that weren't just driven by the money? Were there some names that you looked at and says, these three guys are as crazy as I am?
At the time, I deal with what I've referred to as Goat Mountain. I went to Goat Mountain and I talked to Magic, Michael, Bird, Hakeem Olajuwon, Jerry West, Oscar Robinson, Bill Russell. So I would talk to them. What did you do? What were your experiences? Michael in particular, he's become my big brother. He's been my big brother since I first came in the league.
Man, you've guarded all the greats. Kobe, Jordan, LeBron.
Yes.
Who's the toughest player you've ever guarded? And is it LeBron James?
Scalabrine by far. Those guys they're tough. Those guys are soft. Jordan is soft. Scalabrine.
All right.
But
now
for real.
Now we're answering for real. He just threw out three names. Jordan, LeBron, Kobe. Hardest
Or maybe
guard.
if it's somebody.
Jordan. Definitely.
And wait, and let me
not even
ask
close.
you. Hold on, let me
So
ask you
that's
this question. Don't you feel like LeBron's advantage against the rest of the league, minus Mr. Peace, would be he can overpower people and he just can't do that against you?
Yeah, I think LeBron had a lot of success against me because he's unselfish. Most of the guys I stopped over the years, they were selfish. And it was easier to force them to Jermaine, easier to force them to other guys. But LeBron passes the rock, that's a problem.
Why was Jordan the hardest to guard?
Jordan's the toughest because he's strong as LeBron. He shoots just as good as Reggie Miller from the mid-range, and it's very hard, and he's tough, and he's he's a killer out there on the court.
How many points do you think Jordan could average in today's NBA?
What's the most he ever averaged? 37?
37-1.
40 is easy. 40 would be easy for Black Jesus.
Harden, a couple of years ago, averaged 36. So you figure Jordan could average 40 with no problem.
Shannon, when I talk about him, it's different, man. A lot of times it's biased because I love him so much. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have had the vision. And plus, he was the best to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I definitely think he was the best. And I don't put LeBron in the conversation because I love him so much as a person and as a basketball player.
You know, to me, it's always super interesting when you hear those GOAT conversations, and I don't want to get into it because I covered it too many times now recently. But the one thing that is always pretty nice to me is that when you see players who actually played against Michael Jordan, and it doesn't matter if they were superstars or just stars or bench players, they all understand that there was a difference alone from his mindset from Michael Jordan to any other players. And that to me is also a big reason why he will always be my favorite player of all time. But anyway, you guys, let me know in the comments below what you think about the comments of the NBA players. Let me also know who is your GOAT of all time. And hey, I'll see you next time on the Basketball Time Machine.